Hi, I'm Peter Grant, and I'd like to just talk through a little bit about our track record and give you a case study. So we'll start off by looking at property selection, and the first part within that is the cities that we tend to get involved with. So there are some cities in Scotland, there are some in England. These are all of them, as it were, and there are some statistics there. The common denominator tends to be that they are the larger cities with the larger populations and the larger universities. But feel free to pause the video and look at the detail of that at your leisure. The properties we target tend to be traditional properties for a whole variety of reasons, but best way to summarize it is that there are better locations, there are lower price per square meter, and there are larger room sizes, and they're the ones where the demand really lies. We tend to focus on prime locations. They are easier to rent, which makes sense from an investment point of view. You get better rental growth each year, and the value increases each year are higher on average because of the locations. And the third part of the equation is the tenants, and almost that's where you should start, is think about your tenant group and where they want to live. But we aim for great tenants, which tend to be students and young professionals. It's a very recession-proof market. It's not very price sensitive, and guarantors on the student side, at least, help certify the rents and the income to make it safe. And the approach that we take combines low risk and high returns, and our returns have been really very spectacular over the last 23 years, 28% per annum, which is something we're very proud of. On the renovation side, we are going to look at a typical, in this case, apartment or flat. It's got a bay window, so it's a Victorian property. It's got 3 bedrooms and a dining kitchen, bottom left. And we will typically alter that property where that makes sense, and perhaps put the kitchen to the center of the building, and therefore create another bedroom, a genuine extra bedroom. And we carry out renovations in 8 weeks. We have a project manager who oversees that, and they coordinate all the tradesmen, so joiners, plumbers, builders, etc., all the way through to the decorators and the carpet fitters at the end of the project. And all our properties look pretty much the same. They tend to then be furnished, so we reinstate original features where they exist, and then furnish it with hotel-style furniture. And we've given that a name. We call it an Aspen interior. We've been doing this particular spec for the last, I think, 5 years or so. And essentially what we do is we reinstate the original features, new kitchens and bathrooms, efficient central heating, enhanced layout where we can to improve the rent and the value, and then decorate it and hotel-style furniture. And the benefits of that that approach are that the rents increase, the values increase, and maintenance is cut because it's all new. If we look at some numbers around that, and we'll take a case study here in Edinburgh on Marchmont Road. We bought this property a few years ago for 300,000. Renovation costs were just under 40,000. And that made broad sense because the value increased by about 40,000, so the numbers all pretty much worked. The rent, however, when we look at that, increased really well because of as a consequence of everything we did in that property. And the yield rose from 3.9% to 6%. So that's a significant increase. And what's also interesting is that every year thereafter, because it's a very prime location in Edinburgh, we've increased the rents fairly fully, can we say? And the yield is now sitting, in fact, at 12%. So that's a good example of how the numbers all come together. And that is the way we achieve our returns for investors. And it works. It's worked for 23 years, and we're very proud of that. Clients naturally love it. So our ratings that we get from clients, and lots of information we can share with that, but across a large number of clients, we get a fairly full 4.8 out of 5. Hopefully that's been a helpful, albeit short, insight into what we do and how we do it. Delighted to ask any questions. Look forward to working with you and helping you invest.